Dernier Audiobooks. Living in Hope by Mary Weeks Millard. This book is read by Janet Wilson. Published by Dernier Publishing, P.O. Box 793, Orpington, BR6 1FA. This book is copyright, and unauthorized copying is illegal. All rights reserved. This story is about friends who live in the village of Hope in Rwanda after the Rwandan genocide. It shows that God will intervene whenever you ask and will change you forever and ever. It's a brilliant, riveting story. Reuben. This is the best book I have ever read, and I would recommend it to anyone. Sophie. Everybody should read this book because it is amazing, fun, very emotional, and you will learn so many things about how children cope living in Rwanda. Matthew. To Sophie and Matthew, two special godchildren who have learnt to care both about the people and the animals of Rwanda. Acknowledgements. My grateful thanks to my ever-patient husband, Malcolm, who encourages me to continue writing, and also to Janet Evans of Dernier Publishing for all her help and support in the production of this book. To Sophie and Matthew, two special godchildren who have learnt to care both about the people and the animals of Rwanda. Acknowledgements. My grateful thanks to my ever-patient husband, Malcolm, who encourages me to continue writing, and also to Janet Evans of Dernier Publishing for all her help and support in the production of this book. Chapter 1. Starting School. Shema woke as soon as it was light. He was so excited. Today was the first day of the new school term, and he was going to school for the first time in his life, even though he was almost 10 years old. Shema was an orphan. His parents had both been killed in the terrible war which had swept through his country of Rwanda when he was very young. Since then he had lived with his older sister, Ishimwe, who was now 12, and his younger brother, Maji, who was 6. For a long time after the war, the children had struggled to survive, living in an old, leaky, mud brick house, and had only just managed to get enough food to eat. Ishimwe had looked after her brothers as well as she could, even though she was young herself. Instead of going to school, Shema had looked after goats for a neighbour to earn a little money. But a year ago their lives had changed for the better. They were given a brand new home in a village called Hope, which had been built especially for children like themselves who had no grown-ups to care for them. They were so excited to move into their lovely new home. There were 30 houses in the village, built in neat rows, each with its own little garden for growing vegetables, and outhouses for cooking and washing. Most of the children who lived there had planted evergreen shrubs around their homes, making the compound look neat and tidy. Some had managed to buy a chicken or a goat, and the shrub hedge helped keep them from wandering away. There was one larger house in the village which belonged to the social worker, Delphine, whom the children called Auntie. The children lived independent lives, but Delphine was always there to help them if they needed anything. She sorted out all the charity money that was sent to pay for their schooling, too. Delphine was a plump, jolly young lady, and the children loved her very much. Ishimwe had learnt to use a sewing machine last year, and was now a very good dressmaker. She had sewn Shema a school shirt and shorts in the regulation khaki material which all Rwandan primary school boys wear. Shema could hardly wait to wear it on that first day of term. It was on the stool next to his bed, ready for him to put on. First, however, he had to go and fetch the water the family would need for the day. Even this was not such hard work as it used to be in the old house, because the well was so much nearer, and it wasn't such a hilly walk. Cheerfully Shema pulled on his old clothes, picked up the yellow plastic can, and ran to the village well. Many other children from the village of Hope
Sample complete. Ready to continue?